Committee reports. Mrs. Shorter.
Thank you. I do have a report. It's in line with some of the information, well, maybe a little bit. It's a stretch, okay. So as you all know, we've had all of the lawsuits pertaining to HB 33 and moving forward with the renaming of the Department of Education. So the litigation there is still ongoing. However, there's new litigation that dovetails into that. So we learned recently that there is another lawsuit that's pending, but this time it is against basically a reading program. So there's a program called Cueing in Literacy. I've already asked our expert here, and this is not something that we typically use in the district. It might possibly be used in some of our IEPs as we write in special needs and special mandates for some of our special learners. So the lawsuit itself is being brought by the Reading Recovery Council of North America. This was filed against the state and Governor DeWine earlier this month, and the attempt is basically to block a bill that would basically outlaw or remove cueing in literacy instruction. So all the details pertaining to cueing in literacy, not an expert, not giving you that information, but I am just simply letting you know that as it pertains to changes at the state level, there are lots of things that are falling out as a result of changes to the Department of Education. One of the aims for this lawsuit is basically to provide districts with the ability to target their phonics programs as they see fit. As of right now, the governor's office wants a more rigid learning program, and I cannot remember the name that I was given for the programs that we have here, but there are three. So as of right now, we are looking at another lawsuit that pertains to the way that our kids learn. Again, the key thing here is education is, or should be, at the local level in the state, and at this point, we are still having issues where our ways of teaching our kids seems to be taken from us. It's being rolled up higher and higher against the Ohio State Constitution, according to their opinion and according to the lawsuit. So this is just one more thing.
Thank you, Mrs. Shorter. I would mention in the information I provided, there was some talk about House Bill 267, which is just in committee, and I don't think it'll ever get out of committee, or at least I hope it doesn't. But to Mrs. Shorter's point, as the state looks to take over education, and I'm sure there are some well-intentioned people there that want to do the right thing, but this particular bill advocates for future candidates to select a political party and to go through a primary process to be elected to the school board. So that's concerning. That's the state politicizing the school board. And I think for all school board members in all districts, the number one focus should be what's in the best interest of our students, not what political affiliation you have. So let's hope that never gets out of committee. I bring it up simply to say that's somebody's button right now that they're trying to push and move along.
And I absolutely agree with you. I did miss it as I was looking through the information you provided. I definitely heard about it. There are lots of parents, there are lots of groups that are very upset about it. And it is definitely politicizing education. You know, we try to keep things local and do the best that we can for our kids. However, things are becoming more and more pressured from the state level, and it's becoming more and more difficult for districts to do what's best for their children. And they'll still do it, but it just becomes more difficult.
It feels that way.
Yeah.
Thank you. Butler Tech, I passed out the student success newsletters to everyone. Please take a chance to read those. I don't have any other report other than that. Student achievement, do we have, yes, Parks and Recs?
I'll go over student achievement.
Thank you.
One of our athletes of the week, actually, is the senior quarterback, Talon Fisher, who last Friday actually set a fourth highest single game rushing performance in school history.
Wow, that's great. That's great. It's been a tough football season, but that's great to celebrate some individual accomplishments.
And it helped secure the win, so.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
great. Thank you, Mrs. Birding Miller. Nothing from Mr. Clark for Parks and Recreation. Mr. Smith, anything from?
Nothing coming out of the planning commission
Planning commission.
relevant to the school district.
Thank you.